Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you another behind the scenes using the Canon EOS RP with only natural light. Let's get started. This video contains 3 different photo shoots. The reason why this video is formatted this way is because I wanted to have a video dedicated to the photo shoots that were more experimental than my usual style or were too short to have a standalone video. For the first photo shoot, the models that I worked with were Millie and Carlin. This was the second part of a collaboration I did with model Millie. She had reached out to me about doing a fashion photo shoot blended together with my usual outdoor backlit style. If you would like to see part 1 of our collaboration, I will leave a link in the description below. We started shooting earlier than expected, so the sun was still very high. For the first spot, we had tucked ourselves into the shade near these trees to get soft lighting, and to avoid having any harsh highlights on the models' faces. Millie was really helpful with coming up with a lot of different poses and spots to place our models in. We then shot in this open field. The sun was very intense, and I think this was the furthest I ever pushed the camera with flaring. The lens hood wasn't really doing anything at this point, so I had to use my hand to prevent the photo from being completely washed out. For the final spot, I had my models sit down in this area of grass that was being backlit by the sun. These were probably my favorite photos of the day because of the beautiful bokeh that was being produced by the sun. At the end of the shoot, I decided to try something different by lighting my models from the front, which gave these photos a very editorial look. On to the second shoot. The model that I'm working with for this shoot is Love. It was sunny when we began shooting, however, it became dark and cloudy very quickly. When faced with a lighting situation like this, what I like to do is place the model in front of an area where the sun is being diffused by the clouds. This will create very glowy and diffused lighting on the model, while the background is darker, which will create a lot of contrast. Next, I wanted to take a tight portrait. I used the leaves and branches to frame my shot. I also held one of the leaves in front of my lens to create more depth. For these next shots, the sun had finally come out. This time, I placed my model where she was being backlit by the sun. The trees behind the model were also creating beautiful bokeh. I really wanted to play around with lens flares for these next shots, so I had my model stand under an area where the light was shining through the trees, which created a spotlight effect on my model. It was really cold on the day that we were shooting. Make sure that you have a blanket or a coat nearby for your model to use when you're adjusting your settings or switching to a new location. For this shot, I wanted to have my model show part of her leg where the dress had a slit. By showing part of the model's leg, this will help make the model appear taller. Next, I had the model let down the straps on her dress and asked her to hold the dress up by her hands. This creates a softer look to the photos and makes the dress appear more flowy. For this last shot, I had my model sit in the grass underneath these branches. Make sure you have something on hand for the model to sit on, so that the model and the clothing they are wearing doesn't get dirty. For the final photo shoot, I collaborated with model Mark. Mark and I decided to do a streetwear fashion shoot. For the first location, we shot in City Hall Park in Lower Manhattan. The sun was still very high, but the buildings around us provided a lot of shade to avoid harsh highlights on the model's face. We were also able to get soft backlighting from the sun behind us. When shooting in the shade like this, try utilizing natural reflectors, such as this building over here that was being illuminated by the sun. This will bounce a lot of lighting onto your subject. We had to shoot very quickly because of the amount of people walking in the background. The noise also made it very hard to communicate. With the white sky in the background and my model's white shirt, I made sure to underexpose my shot so that I would be able to recover the highlights in post-production. Next, I wanted to take some action shots of Mark walking across the street. For these shots, I put my camera into continuous shooting, AI servo mode with face and eye detection turned on. The camera tracked him very well, and the raw buffer never ran out. Normally I never shoot this fast, but if I was a fashion, wedding, or even a sports photographer, I would feel confident bringing this camera to a fast-paced shoot. The sun had finally come out, and I decided to light my model from the front, which created very glowy lighting on his face. Next, we shot by this entrance to the subway. The sun was pouring in through the side, so I wanted to experiment with the harsh direct light hitting my model against the dark, intense shadows. I made sure there was some highlights behind him so that he would be separated from the background. For the final location, we took some more action shots. This time, I wanted to play around with more backlighting and have some soft flaring from the sun pouring into the shot. That's all I have for you today. Thank you to everyone involved in every shoot. If you liked this video, please press the like button and subscribe for more future behind the scenes. Everyone out there, stay safe and healthy. My name is Raphael, and I'll see you next time. Bye.